All right, guys. So it's day two. Yeah, day two of Nofap for me. We're about 6 hours from it being day three, because I started at like midnight, basically, 2 midnights ago. So yeah, we're 6 hours from day three. Feeling a bit better. One thing that I think has really helped, and I've definitely noticed this on this reboot, and Sunfruit Dan talks about this on his channel, is that intermittent fasting really seems to assist the reboot process. For instance, when I would relapse before or binge before, recovery for me would take, it would take me probably about 10 or 11 days to get to where I am on this time on day two. And I think intermittent fasting is a big part of that. Just the extra energy that it gives you, bit of extra focus, bit of extra drive. You don't feel so tired out. So yeah, I don't know, it just, to me, it has made a difference. But anyway, I wanted to have a little bit of a talk today about attraction and Nofap, because I think all of us have seen, the reports on all the Nofap forums about how being on Nofap makes you more attractive, and a lot of people sort of scoff when they read that, and they think, well, how can something like that, make such a huge difference? Because it seems like quite a small thing, really, doesn't it? Stopping masturbating. It doesn't, and stopping looking at porn. It doesn't seem like it would be this huge deal that would make all these big changes. But I can tell you from personal first-hand experience that going on Nofap and stopping PMO makes you more attractive. And I can also tell you from first-hand experience that going off of Nofap and back to PMO makes you less attractive. It's a sliding scale. The reasons why, you have to understand, I think, what women actually are attracted to, which is something that, to be honest, a lot of guys actually struggle with and don't actually have this knowledge. Because if you're anything like me, you grew up probably with like parents who had a really, really bad relationship and were always fighting and always at each other's throats, and never seemed like there was any love there. So you weren't exactly going to get like good lessons from them. And then if you look to sort of the media, films and TV and stuff like that, again, you'll see things on there, like you'll see characters on TV and on movies do certain things and get the girl, and then you try to do something similar to that in real life, and the girl sort of laugh in your face, and then you're like, what the heck? But yeah, so the actual understanding of attraction is surprisingly lacking in a lot of guys. But it's not really that difficult. I've sort of nailed it down to that the majority of women, and you can't speak for everybody, but I think that the majority of women are attracted to strength in men. Now, strength can be a lot of different things. It can be physical strength, in which case, let's look at like examples of this. So physical strength, you've got like your bodybuilder, your sort of strong men, like back in the old days you had like Arnold Schwarzenegger. These days you could have like Vin Diesel or Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans, who plays Captain America. The physique and the physical strength of men like that is attractive to women by and large. But it's not the only type of strength. You've also got mental strength, people who have got like a real focus and a real dedication and commitment to things, and they're sort of unshakable. Trying to think of like someone who's got really good mental strength but that maybe lacks the physical side. It's difficult. I can't think of any examples, but feel free to drop some in the comments, because It's just that I can't think of any right now. Oh, actually, here we go. It's like Spock from Star Trek, and some people may laugh, but Leonard Nimoy was a sex symbol back in his day, believe you me. And pretty sort of scrawny guy, really, but, you know, mental strength, women were drawn to that. That's a funny example there, but yeah, just one that came to mind. You know, and also like emotional strength as well, women are attracted to, because they don't want a guy basically that's going to like lose his shit and go to pieces and can't handle his own life. And this was like, I used to lack in all three of those areas before I started Nofap and before I started my self-improvement journey. You know, I didn't work out and train. And a funny story about me, I paid for a gym membership. Like, this is unbelievable, but it speaks to the sort of person that Nofap and various other sort of vices and issues led me to be. I paid for a gym membership for a year and a half to a gym that was a 5-minute walk from my house, and I went once, and I was so insecure about my physique and stuff that I was scared to go to the gym and work out, because I thought that there was going to be like a bunch of dudes that all looked like jacks, like the Avengers, training, and then there was going to be me like walking into the gym on my first day, and they were just going to laugh and, you know, like mock me and stuff like that. It's like unbelievable. That was honestly what I used to think, and so I was just too intimidated to go into a gym. And when I actually like had been doing Nofap for a while and various other things, and I like built the confidence to just say, you know what, maybe I will get laughed at, I don't know, but I don't care, I've got to go in, and everyone has to start somewhere. I went into the gym, and like the only people in there was like two like middle-aged sort of women, and like a really small Asian guy who was like way smaller than me. They were the only people in there training. So it was pretty funny. And then as I'd been in there for like a while, sort of, yeah, I did see some big jacked guys and stuff, but they didn't care about what I was doing. Like, they didn't really bat an eyelid. It was just, oh, well, they got their own stuff to do, you know. But yeah, that's just an example of like how fapping and things like that can really like cause delusional thinking and anxiety in you that you don't need to actually have. But so I didn't have the physical side of things. I didn't have the mental side of things because I had brain fog. Like, I am actually reasonably academically intelligent when I apply myself, but I'd always struggled with brain fog, and I used to think that maybe I had like ADHD or something like that, but I did really well at school up until, you know, wouldn't you know it, sort of like year 9 to the start of year 10, which was when I first started to find PMO. And after that, my performance just went so far down, it was unbelievable. And also, you know, like, I can also pinpoint that as the time when my social anxiety started, because I never had it before. Like, I was a really sociable kid. I loved like going out and playing with like other kids, and, you know, just going out on BMXs all day, riding around town, being like little shits, you know. Didn't have that social anxiety. It just came on when porn started. So yeah, didn't have the mental side down. I was a mess, you know. Still am, because I'm still in brain fog from this last relapse, but I know that it will improve over time. And I definitely didn't have the emotional strength either. And you combine that with the fact that I had just a lack of knowledge about women in general and the way that they thought and what made them tick, you know. I didn't know. And this combined to make me a very, very unattractive person. There's other parts of it as well, like when I was a PMO addict, like I spoke in my previous video about having like a darkness around me, sort of a really negative vibe, and just being down on the world. And I mean, that doesn't help either. So the whole combination of that PMO cycle, like everything that it brings to you serves to make you unattractive. I also had like physical signs as well, such as I get dark under eyes and I look like older and more washed up when I am not on Nofap, and they go away, and I just seem to and this isn't a placebo because I've compared photos, but I just seem to have like a little bit more vitality when I'm on a good Nofap streak as opposed to when I'm not. So it's interesting. Now, when you go on Nofap, you start to get your house in order. So I find with me personally, when I start a streak, I need to get to like 2 to 3 weeks normally before the effects really start to kick in and I start to feel a lot better, Obviously you have those little flat lines, but they come and go. But by and large, after I would say 3 to 4 weeks, I'm feeling really good. And then I start looking for other areas that I can improve. So that could be, for me, it was fitness, getting into bodybuilding, and getting into shape, because I found that it's a twofold thing. People really do treat you a lot better when you're in shape. Like, it's kind of shocking actually. Girls like definitely do, and guys respect you more as well. So it's a good thing for that. But also, I just like the challenge of it, and it makes you physically feel better because you're more healthy. And also, exercise is really great. It releases like a lot of endorphins and things like that, and it just, it's difficult to come out of the gym after a good workout and feel bad. It doesn't really happen. I've gone into the gym sometimes like feeling really like just stuck in a rut and not good about life, and then I go in, I have an amazing workout, and I come out and I'm like, things aren't so bad. So that really helped. So that was me sort of tidying up part one. And definitely, as I said, like when I got into shape, girls definitely looked at me different, 100%. Like girls that girl at work that I've talked about before, who like just didn't look at me twice before. Another part, not just being on Nofap, but was the fact that I like lost weight and got into shape, and it just made her look at me different. And she's not the only example of that. So I can testify to that, getting in shape, which being on Nofap makes it a lot easier to stick to a diet, a lot easier to motivate yourself to go to the gym even if you don't feel like it. For me I feel like I have a bit of a performance boost in the gym. Again, like that may be placebo, but I don't care if it's placebo as long as it works, Results are all that matter. So part one. Now part two, the mental clarity, mental strength, that comes from the brain fog lifting. So I become mentally a lot sharper, and that means that in conversation with girls, I can be like a lot wittier. I can make sort of quick comebacks, and I can tease and flirt, and it doesn't feel awkward or forced, and I don't have to think about what I'm going to say. It's just smooth. And obviously being like mentally sharp carries over into a lot of other areas of your life as well. There's way more benefits to it than just that, you can talk to women better, but there you go. That's just another benefit. And then also like the emotional control, 100%, like 100%, I am way more emotionally in control when I'm on a long Nofap streak, like way more. When I'm fapping, something like really small can happen, and I'll just go into a panic, and I'll stress, and I'll worry about it. I'll get upset. Like it can even be something that I know is like not a good thing. Like say I'm talking to a girl and she doesn't text back sort of pretty quickly. I'll start stressing myself and worrying and thinking like she doesn't want to talk to me, etc. And that's really not the way to look at it. You just got to be confident and think, yeah, she's probably just busy doing something else. But when I'm fapping, even though I know like the way I'm feeling isn't logical, I can't do much about it, or it takes a lot of effort for me to change my thoughts. But when I'm on a streak, those thoughts don't even really come up, and if they do, I can snap out of them almost straight away. So when you're dating, you know, there's always like a certain level of game playing from women, and I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, but they have like tests that they do and things like that, because they want to know what you're really all about, and they want to know that you're not going to fall apart at the first sign of trouble, and that you're not going to panic or be like a stalker or a weirdo. So they'll put these little tests out to you when you're first dating, and you've got to have that emotional and mental clarity to see those tests for what they are and just roll with them and be like, okay, cool, yeah, I can see what she's up to, and you know, the whole point is being on Nofap just makes it way easier to deal with that kind of thing. And also Nofap, it diminishes your anxiety a lot, which is like hugely important, because say like there's a girl that is interested in you, and then you're out with her, say like with a group of people, and there's like 2 or 3 other guys there, and they're all sort of loud and boisterous and things like that. Now what they might try and do, those guys, is they might try to do what's called alpha male other guy, AMOG, which is they kind of like try to push you down the social rung a little bit to make themselves look better. And if you've got really bad social anxiety, that's actually happened to me before, and I knew it was happening, but I couldn't really do anything about it, so I tried to just laugh it off. But I definitely knew that afterwards the girl just didn't look at me quite the same. I felt she probably thought I was a bit of a bitch because I didn't stand up for myself, and you know, that's like something that I'm not proud of, but at the time I couldn't do anything about it. But when you're on a Nofap streak and you don't have social anxiety and you feel good and confident about yourself, you'll just handle those situations like way better. Like it won't even be a problem to you. And if guys try to do that, you'll have like the ability to just kind of shoot them down and make them look stupid for even trying. You know what I mean? It's just a quick response that you get when you've got that clarity of mind, and you don't care because you know that they're just being an asshole. So you can pretty much just say like, wait, hey man, like, who you trying to impress or whatever, turn it around on them, not in like a nasty way, like a violent way, like, oh, I'm gonna like take you outside and we're gonna fight or whatever, but just in a way that like, look mate, why are you being like that? Like, there's no need for it. You know what I mean? If you can like look a guy in the eye with confidence and say that, like, they'll shut up because they realise that they look like a dick if they, you know, say anything else. That's just a little bit of an example. Again, I have a lot of little examples, you may have noticed. And yeah, you know, so the whole sort of thing, like confidence, anxiety, taking care of yourself, having like some ambitions in life, that really helps as well. And that's something that Nofap gives you, because as I said at the start of the video, like once you've done Nofap for a bit, you start looking at the other areas of life that you want to improve in, and that can be career, education, and having a goal and having a focus is like vital to being attractive to women in the long term. You know, you can be a good looking loser and hook up with a girl short term, but you need some substance to you. You need to be striving for something in life. That's what girls want to see from guys. One of the most important things, that you're striving towards something. You've got a focus, you've got a goal, and you're determined to do it. They love to see that determination. So yeah, confidence, strength, determination, maturity, mental strength, emotional strength. These are all things that are like vitally important to being attractive, and they're all things that Nofap gives you. It's the total package. Like you look better. You know, you look better just by being on Nofap. You get a better vibe. You get a better energy. You get a lot more confidence. You're more outgoing. You're funnier. You're nicer in a good way. Not, you know, that fake nice guy way, which is like I'm a nice guy as long as I'm getting what I want, and I'm going to be fake and like not stand up for myself and all this because I've got to keep this fake act up. No, like, you're genuinely a nice person. Like, You know, you want to help people out who deserve it, and you're just a good guy. That's an attractive thing as well. Like, believe it or not, don't worry about this whole bad boy stuff. It's kind of BS. 99% of women, especially like ones that are mentally healthy themselves, they like a good guy, like, you know, a decent guy. And yeah, you know, like I say, Nofap, it makes you the total package. I'll probably do more videos on this, because as I get further into my Nofap journey and I stop being like such a gibbering wreck, I have more to say on this subject. And you know, I know that for a lot of guys, they start off doing Nofap to become more attractive to women, and I don't think personally that there's anything wrong with that, but I think once you've been on the journey for a little while, you want to kind of expand your horizons and look for other reasons, because you know, never make like dating and women the number one focus in your life. It should just be a side effect of having a good life. I mean, me at the moment, because I haven't been living well, because I haven't been practicing the things that I know I need to do, you know, my love life is pretty non-existent, but I know it improves when I do what I need to. It's crazy, like it's up and down depending on me. So yeah, if you want to be more attractive to women, like, Nofap is the way. And combining that with like a healthy lifestyle, healthy living, intermittent fasting, working out, and various other things, like, you know, definitely give Nofap a try. I hope everyone's doing well. At this point, I'd only uploaded my first video and it had like 11 views or something in 24 hours, which is great. Only 11 views, but I'm not here to, like, you know, preach to the masses. This is just for the hardcores. This is for the guys that are looking for answers. So hopefully this video will help you guys. And again, like always, just if anyone does have any comments or anything they want me to talk about, drop it in the comments or message me or whatever. And anything at all within reason related to this subject, I will talk about if you ask me to. All right, have a good day, everyone. Bye.